Ezzy Talk Sports, they were talking football, and we're back with another video. I know this video is going to be controversial. I know this video is going to stir up opinion. It's going to be very divisive in the comments. But today we're going to be ranking every single manager in the Premier League, and we're going to be ranking them brutally. And without further ado, let's just get straight into it. And remember, if you've enjoyed the video, don't forget to smash a like and subscribe. But yeah, let's jump straight into the tier list. So, as you can see, we've got 5 different tiers. At the top, we've got world class. Next, we've got elite, decent, poor, and horror. So, first things first, let's go with Pep Guardiola, Josep Guardiola. And Pep Guardiola obviously manages Man City. We're not only going to be talking about their Premier League careers, by the way, we're going to be talking about their managerial career as a whole. And I think all things considered, to be honest with Pep Guardiola, he is a little... No, I'm joking. World class. I think that goes without saying. Everyone knew he was going to be in there. The things he's done with Barcelona, with Bayern Munich, and with Man City, he's revolutionised the game. He's won trophies everywhere he's been. Champions League after Champions League, league title after league title. World class. And yeah, also another thing I have to note out is we're not just going to be putting everyone into the tiers, we're also going to be ordering them. So at the end of this video, we're going to get the first best manager all the way to the 20th best manager. But yeah, first best wasn't the best grammar as well, by the way. But yeah, next we've got Andoni Iraola. And I'm going to slap him in decent. Iraola, I think, he's becoming a bit overrated. I think Iraola is a very good manager. He's a decent manager, actually. You know what I mean? Bournemouth on an elite team. Obviously, Iraola is the man that Man United fans want to replace Ruben Amorim from the consensus that I've been hearing. But I just don't think Iraola has done anything that warrants being referred to as elite. You know, he's just a decent manager. He's made Bournemouth a decent team. So that's why Iraola is decent. Next, we have Oliver Glasner. Decent again. I think he's very similar to Iraola. Obviously done amazing things with Palace. Better than Iraola, obviously. Winning the FA Cup cannot be understated about how amazing of an achievement that is. But yeah, I think he's just a decent manager. Next, we've got Unai Emery. Unai Emery. Unai Emery is an elite manager. I think Unai Emery is an elite manager. He's a winner. He's a serial winner. He's a very good competition manager, cup manager that is, sorry. And everywhere Unai Emery's gone, he's been successful, apart from maybe Arsenal, PSG, because obviously at PSG during that time, winning the Champions League was the only success that you could really have. Winning the league was kind of seen as a formality. But yeah, everyone forgets how far Aston Villa have come. Obviously, they did not have the best start to the season, but, you know, I do fully expect them to, you know, turn this around. Obviously, they scored their first goal tonight. At the time of filming this, Harvey Elliott scored their first goal. But Unai Emery is definitely an elite manager, I think. I think a lot of teams will be lucky to have him. So yeah, we're not going to go to Slot next. We're going to go to Fabian Hürzeler. And I think Fabian Hürzeler is a decent manager. I was very impressed. I think he's better than... Nah, he's not better than Glasner, actually. I think when he first came into Brighton, I was very impressed by him. But since then, Brighton haven't really been as good as perhaps they were under De Zerbi and Graham Potter. But I think he's decent, you know what I mean? A club like Brighton need to remember where they've come from. You know what I mean? They were a relegation team at one point. You know, they're relatively new in the Premier League in terms of how long the Premier League's been around. And I think Brighton fans shouldn't count their blessings before they start asking for managers to do more. Next, Eddie Howe. Eddie Howe. This is a tough one. I think people will think he's elite, but I just think he's decent. I don't think he's better than Iraola, to be honest. He's done a decent job at Newcastle, did a decent job at Bournemouth, but he did win the FA Cup. No, I still think decent, to be honest. I think tactically he's not amazing, to be honest. I just think he's a decent manager. Newcastle have got a very good squad, by the way. I think it's you need to remember. I don't think Iraola couldn't do what Eddie Howe's done at Newcastle. Neither could Unai Emery. So I think I'm going to put decent. Next, we're going to go with... Who we're going to go with next? We're going to go with Keith Andrews. Keith Andrews, I'm just going to have to put him poor. I don't know much about him, to be honest. I can't lie to you. Brentford haven't been as good as last season. Obviously scraped you on penalties today against Aston Villa. But yeah, I think that's only fair to say poor. Marco Silva, decent. I've always rated Marco Silva. From when he came in at Hull, I really liked him. Obviously had stints at Everton as well. But I think Marco Silva's in between Glasner and Hürzeler. I think he's a very decent manager, to be honest. I like the way Fulham play. Fulham are a good side now. Hard to beat, especially away at Craven Cottage. I think he's a decent manager. Next, we've got Thomas Frank. This is hard. I think at the end of this season, he'll be elite. But right now, I have to put him decent. Can I put him ahead above Eddie Howe though. I'm going to put him ahead of Eddie Howe. I think Thomas Frank is a very decent manager. I think this is one to watch in terms of who could get to the elite manager. I think Thomas Frank will do amazing things at Tottenham. I think Tottenham are an underrated shout for a dark horse in the Champions League. I think they could go deep. Obviously, they won their first match tonight. Yeah, I think Thomas Frank is a decent manager. Next, we'll go with Tottenham's former manager, Ange Postecoglou. And we're going to go for Ange Postecoglou. Decent. Obviously, Ange mixed opinions on his final season at Tottenham. I liked his. If I was a Tottenham fan, I would have liked his last season. You know what I mean? I wouldn't care about the league position. Got us Champions League football. Got Tottenham that well-awaited trophy. So I think Tottenham fans, they can't be over critical. Neither can the football fans be over critical of Ange Postecoglou. What he did at Tottenham, millions, tens of managers couldn't do. Mourinho couldn't do it. Conte couldn't do it. No manager could win a trophy at Tottenham, and Ange Postecoglou came and he did it. Next, we're going to go with David Moyes. I think David Moyes, decent. I'll put him bottom of decent. You can't put him poor. He's decent manager, you know what I mean? Does the job. Did a very good job at West Ham. Everton, he's just decent, you know what I mean? He's not gonna make you want an exciting team in the league. He's just decent, you know what I mean? Decent. Next, we'll go with Mikel Arteta. Super Mikel Arteta is top of decent. And a lot of people are gonna be angry at this, but let me put this onto the full face cam. Okay. Someone tell me, what has Mikel Arteta done to be an elite manager? Mikel Arteta is not an elite manager. Oliver Glasner has matched his record in terms of trophies. Mikel Arteta is not elite. He has consistently failed at winning the Premier League. He's consistently failed the last 2 seasons at winning the Champions League. Over and over again, Arsenal fans have expected their team to win the biggest trophies being the Premier League and the Champions League, and Arteta has failed to do that over and over again. If I was an Arsenal fan, I'd be losing my tether with Arteta, because I guarantee you right now, you can clip this and we'll come back to it at the end of the season. I said this on Arsenal Fan TV 2 years ago, and I'll say it again now. Mikel Arteta is not capable of winning the Premier League or Champions League with Arsenal, and when it happens again this season, hopefully Arsenal fans will start seeing it. So yeah, Mikel Arteta is a decent manager. Top of decent, but yeah, decent. Next, Vitor Pereira, poor. You know what I mean? Wolves manager, hasn't really done much. Wolves look like shocking. Look like they could actually go down. I think it's only fair to say that he's poor. Next, Scott Parker. Same again. He's just poor, isn't he? Decent Championship manager, but in the Premier League he's poor. Burnley are going straight down. Burnley just a poor team. Yeah. Next, Arne Slot. Obviously, I'm not going to put him above Pep Guardiola, but yeah, he's a world-class manager, I think. Won the Premier League. I think what Arne Slot did last season was crucial, has been heavily underrated. Look at the predictions from last season. Look where everybody said Liverpool would be finishing last season. Everyone said 5th, 6th. Everyone said Arne Slot's going to be sacked by Christmas. He won't get to the new year. But next season, Liverpool will have a new manager. And what happened? Arne Slot came in and he walked the league. Walked it. So Arne Slot is a world-class manager. You know, I don't care what anyone says. He came into the Premier League, the hardest league in the world, from Feyenoord with a completely new team, with no signings, and he walked the league with ease. World-class manager. Graham Potter, top of poor. I used to really like Graham Potter. I think he should have got more time at Chelsea, but with West Ham, man, he's been poor. West Ham fans hate him. Some of the things I've seen West Ham fans say about Graham Potter has been not even laughable. Actually, it's been quite serious. But yeah, Graham Potter is going in poor. Enzo Maresca, he's not elite. I'll put him there. I'll put him behind Thomas Frank. Above Eddie Howe. I think he's a decent manager. You know, Chelsea plays some good football, but you know, when you look at that Chelsea team, do you really think they're going to win the league? Do you really think they're capable of winning the Champions League or making even a decent attempt? I don't know about you, but I just don't really see it. So yeah, Maresca is a decent manager. Next, we're going with Sunderland's manager, Regis Lebris. I'm just going to put him poor. I just don't really know anything about him. Let me put him at the top of poor, actually. Let me put him at decent, actually. No. Sunderland, I think they've got the best chance to stay up, to be honest. Is that to do with the manager, or is that to do with the fact they spent a load of money on players? Probably more to do with the players, but, you know, Sunderland, I believe they're 7th at the minute. Yeah, decent, to be honest. I'll just put him decent, you know what I mean? Be nice to him. Daniel Farke, poor. yeah, he's better. Put him there. Just a championship level manager. You know what I mean? He's not someone who can steady the ship in the Premier League. He's just a championship level manager, isn't he? Just not amazing. Finally, the man that probably a lot of people have been waiting for me to rank, Ruben Amorim. Ruben Amorim is an elite manager. I'm joking. Ruben Amorim is the only one going in horror. Worst Man United start in history since World War II. Let me give respect to the managers pre-World War II. I just can't even put into words how bad this man is. He's had a summer to be backed, and he spent all 250 million on his own players, and United probably worse than last year. Yeah, just a horror manager. And to be honest, you feel bad for him a little bit because he's so. Actually, if I was a United fan, would I really even feel bad for him? He's very stubborn, you know. I think I'd be very annoyed if I was a United fan by some of the stuff that he says. But yeah, man, this is the list of managers. Remember, if you've enjoyed, subscribe, smash a like button, and comment down below what you think of the tier list. What would you change? What are your hot takes? And yeah, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy the next one.